out there, which where they still have Byron Saxton on commentary. Booker T and JBL was back, but Cole was still not there. As pretty much they had Big Show with the Andre the Giant trophy. They now do shots of him at the trophy now. And the rest of the Authority of the Ring, except Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, are on vacation. So, well, really are on vacation, so they weren't even there tonight. As they talked about the Wednesday at WrestleMania, as people started chanting, "You sold out." Ron talked about how Triple H put the final nail in the coffin against WCW, how Big Show proved himself to be the greatest giant, and that Seth Rollins became the new WWE champion, and Kane, he was just there. He was Kane. Even Big Show says, "Show the champion respect." He says, "This is your champion speaking." And Kane says, like, "God damn," he's like, "Damn it, Kane. That was Kane out there," he said. And everything. Until Orton's music hit. Until like, he beat Rollins with that, sick RKO at WrestleMania. And pretty much now that the Authority aren't even here, that anybody can do anything tonight. And that Orton says he deserved a title shot since he never got his rematch for the WWE title last year after he lost the championship at WrestleMania. And Kane pretty much went on, said, "I'm still the director of operations." And it says it'll be a triple threat match tonight, so he'll become the #1 contender between Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Ryback. But they all would have singles matches. So Kane says, told Orton, "You're going to go one-on-one with him," he says. Which, very much the Authority out there, doing more promos. I'm still surprised they showed clips of the old Triple H Sting match with Triple H. Maybe it was because of that bruise on his leg, he hasn't been there. Because I expected Triple H to show up by now and actually say something about that match at WrestleMania. And have D-Generation X out there to talk with him. But Orton went against Kane. Pretty much was by DQ, which Kane hit Orton with a chair. Was going to choke slam into it, but Orton tried to dodge it RKO, but Kane got out of there at the end. So, yeah. So, pretty much, we will see what's going to go on with the rest of the Triple Wrestlers. Everybody else also had a match. They also talked about AJ. As everybody knows, AJ is now retired. And, I don't know, some people think this is kind of kissing AJ's ass right now. So, AJ has now a new book coming out, where she has a book deal, and also, yeah, like she did say some comments on Twitter today because of her retirement. Even though it's kind of odd that her last match was last week on Raw and at WrestleMania. But what will they? I don't know what's going to be planned for AJ. Will AJ do the same thing as CM Punk and pretty much shoot on this company of what they've done to her husband? What will AJ say now? Because I always knew that tweet she said about Stephanie McMahon a month or two ago after that whole Oscar thing was a shoot. A lot of people tried to say it was a work, but I kind of knew it was legit shoot. And I don't know what we expect from AJ to say. Some people think AJ played it smart by keeping her mouth shut until she was gone from the company to now speak on this. We'll see if anything Punk related will come up. Brad Maddox, which still has a job there in that company, was talking to Kane in the back of what he did tonight as Seth Rollins showed up and told him, like, "You need to do your job and everything, or else I'm going to call Stephanie and them." Or Triple H says to get you fired from your director of operations. When Kane says that, well, they're not even here. They're all somewhere in the Pacific, so there's no internet connection or anything, or any type of phone service. Even though they could just watch the show. Pretty much he told Rollins that you're going to be in a match up next. As they pretty much Seth Rollins was mad as Seth Rollins went against Adrian Neville. Neville came out, NXT chants all over the place. And I gotta say, great match between Seth Rollins and Adrian Neville. It was a good thing to see. And getting Neville a shot 2 weeks in a row, he was over. The crowd was with him. Hell, he may have lost to Seth Rollins with the curb stomp, but he was awesome out there like he's always on NXT. So it was good to see this match with Seth Rollins and Adrian Neville. So, hey, this could go somewhere if they keep this up with this guy and not ruin him with that Mighty Mouse thing people were talking about. John Cena came out as he was going to be on, well, of course, Chris Jericho's podcast after the show tonight. But pretty much, Rusev does have his U.S. title match at Extreme Rules against him. But, John Cena's still doing this open challenge for the U.S. title and everything. So, he talked about the Open Challenge, as he went against Stardust, which I was surprised. He talked about America and all this stuff, and how America is this, America is that. But I'm surprised he went against Stardust. I guess he's putting guys over now, or something like that, with Stardust, and actually had a really good match with him. Cena and Stardust. It was a really great match. Cena they hit the FU, won the match and everything. I don't know what they're going to go with Rusev, so I don't know why we're doing Open Challenge if we know he's facing them and invoked his rematch clause for, you know, Extreme Rules. So I don't know what to expect, but it was a good match with John Cena and Stardust. The Bellas went against Paige and Naomi, and my God, this match was kind of sloppy anyways. And I don't know what they're doing with Naomi. I don't know if the crowd's in there. She's supposed to be the new challenger going from, like, it was a lot of botches, even towards the end. Like, that scissors, like, head scissors move DDT, but it was barely even used. It was very sloppy. Very sloppy. There was a lot of people just messing up moves tonight, so it wasn't really a good Divas match. It really wasn't. Ryback went against Luke Harper tonight. As also the primetime players, they're now mocking the New Day and the Ascension because they suck, which is true. Especially the New Day sucks, and I don't know. The primetime players tried to be funny. It's like it was funny, but it wasn't that funny. Ryback went against Harper. Ryback won at the Shell Sock, which I don't think the crowd went to. They talked to the New Day, Renee Young, about the New Day sucks chant. And as Kofi said, either you clap or you snap, and that it hurts them. And Big E did this somewhat impression of a kid saying, "Hello, Mr. Big E. I'm a big fan of you guys, but this New Day thing sucks." So it's horrible, and he wanted an autograph or something. And we know the New Day is terrible and everything, and they know it themselves, and because of an autograph. And I don't know, maybe they're gonna turn the New Day heel now, since they now address that they suck, because we know they suck. And then they went against the Lucha Dragons. Then the Lucha Dragons won the match. Even though Kofi kind of got involved and hit a kick on one of his Xavier Woods, looked surprised. If you ask me, I think it's a better way if Kofi just turns on both of them and he goes heel and turns on Xavier Woods and Big E. Like, we could still have the whole team turn heel, but, like, let's get Kofi heel. That's the person I think people want to see, is Kofi Kingston out of this whole thing. Like I said before, he deserves better. I think Kofi should have got more, deserved more back in 2009. But unfortunately, like you say, he's stuck in this horrible New Day gimmick. But if we turn them heel, I don't know what will happen then. Roman Reigns! Sorry, a little tired today, people. Went against Big Show. I don't know how many times against Big Show. Mixed reaction. As this match was pretty much alright, I'll say that. Why this match happened, I don't know. But it was the match. Reigns, he beat Big Show in 3 Superman punches and dodging a chokeslam and hit the spear on him, which was a really good match, but he hasn't really said that much after losing at WrestleMania this year. Kane was in the back until half the Divas came up. Natalya, Summer Rae, Cameron, and Alicia Fox. Somebody deserved a shot, and Naomi won that match. And I don't think Kane gave a crap about what the Divas wanted, because we already know, even when they said that give Divas a chance, like only 1 to 2 of you had to deserve a chance. And Cage at Battle Royale, whoever wins next week goes for the title. Now get out of his office, he said. Sheamus. Before I get to Sheamus, I guess Reigns, he said, I beat Big Show, wait till you see what he does next. Which, you know, I'm still surprised he's not really pissed out what happened at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns. Sheamus came out talking about all the big men around here. What happened to the men? It's all insects now. With guys like, you know, Bryan and Ziggler says, why did somebody come facing outside because nobody's size? Mark Henry came out then, you know, and it was Texas crowd. Henry went against Sheamus. Sheamus won, hit the bro kick, whatever. It wasn't that long of a match. And now we're advertising the same tag match again for some reason. That was supposed to happen last Friday. So now we're doing this whole Ziggler and Bryan versus Barrett and Sheamus again, even though it wasn't, which will probably be Ziggler versus Barrett on SmackDown Friday. So I don't know. Bray Wyatt with another promo video talking about, says, I know who you are, I know what you are, and that you've done what you've done to fight and battle the forces of nature against the greatest power, but still have not won. And that he's a fear of failure, but he's ever hold a new face of fear. Which, like, dude, you didn't even beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. So I don't know who Bray Wyatt's after next at this point. I really do feel like Bray Wyatt's promos are someone coming the same in a way of who he's going after. And since he couldn't get the job done against the Undertaker, who's next? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Miz went against Sandow, which wasn't even that big of a match. You know, you advertised it. Miz won, roll-ups or whatever. But then it came into the main event, triple threat match for the triple threat match for the number one contender spot for the WWE title at Extreme Rules in Chicago. Ryback, Orton, and Reigns pretty much was a spot fest throughout the whole thing with people in signatures and finishers. The rest of the Authority came out. Reigns hit that giant, pretty much jump out of the ring. Then Big Show knocked him with 2 knockout punches after that. And then pretty much the security team got involved in the match. Orton snuck up behind Ryback, hit the RKO, won the match. New number one contender. And Seth Rollins pretty much came up and hit the curb stomp, you know, Orton holding the title up. Yeah, the match was alright for a main event. 5 minutes. They didn't really have a lot of time anyway, so I just had to keep in finisher after finisher. So it wasn't even that good of a match. If you ask me, just one of these marathon long shows tonight of everything. So yeah, this Raw was like whatever. I don't even think the crowd was even all into this, and people got a lot of mixed reactions. They just didn't get that big enough of cheers. So that's pretty much what happened on Raw. And it's kind of funny how you go from the week before with the night after WrestleMania crowd, and you go to the crowd next week. You just like that crowd the night after WrestleMania better. But once again, you know, it's me, HLOD, coming to the news reviews. You know, I have no idea what the show here I go. It came and I saw, and now we're done with this review of Monday Night Raw. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.